Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. I'm Saral Nash here with you once again today with some another session. And today it is more about, I would say, the information about the CMAT exam rather than an academic session. So we shall start with our session soon. But before that, can you all please confirm it to me? Am I clearly audible to you? Audible and visible is all clear. I hope no issues are there. Can you all please confirm? Is everything okay? So in our today's session, we are going to talk about the CMAT exam, right? CMAT 2023 is the exam that we are going to talk about now. So, of course, when you talk about the MBA exam season, the season starts with the NMAT exam. That is the first exam that we have. After that, then we have CAT exam. After that, then there is IFT, there is SNAP, there is ZET. All these exams have already gone now. So we are left with CMAT, we are left with TISNET, we are left with Maharashtra CET. I think three major exams, which I feel that these are left now. When I talk about TISNET, I think it is very close, but when I talk about Maharashtra CET and CMAT, they would be slightly on the later side. I mean, current. Yes, is everything okay now? Can you all please confirm? I think there was some problem. I had a power cut and suddenly the internet went off. But can you guys just write it in the chat box? Is everything fine? Am I audible and visible now? I'm sorry there was a problem, but now I am assuming that things are back on track. Please let me know, is everything okay? Yes, someone says yes. Okay, I think now it is okay. Okay. चलिए, so I think we can move ahead with it. शुरू कर देते हैं आगे की चीजें. हाँ जी, I was talking about this exam CMAT. So what has happened in CMAT actually? I told you that these are the two exams which generally happen quite late, CMAT and Maharashtra CET. So this is one of the two exams. So now I'll be talking about this, all the things, the pattern of the exam, the eligibility criteria, the syllabus we'll be talking about. We'll also be talking about the colleges that lie under CMAT 2023. Okay. So without any delay, let us start with it. The first thing first, what is the agenda? As I told you, we'll be talking about pattern of the paper. We'll also talk about eligibility of the paper, the syllabus, right? And finally, the top colleges that lie under CMAT. We'll be talking about them one by one. First thing first, that what are the important dates? Let's start with those important dates here. So I've taken this paper actually that you see on the screen from the actual this CMAT website, right? So online registration starts from 16th of February. It will go till 17th of February, March. And the last date for fee submission is 18th of March. How much fee you have to pay? The fee for males it is 2000, for females it is 1000, and for the reserved categories it is 1000 and 1000 for male and female both, for the third gender as well. Apart from that, the correction window is from 19th March to 21st of March, but the most important part is date of examination they say to be announced later. So they have not yet decided what is the date of the exam. Registration has started, everything has been done, lekin date of examination we don't know. Definitely we know one thing, that is duration of the exam is going to be of 180 minutes and it will be happen in two slots, 9 to 12 and 3 to 6. Approximately 70,000 people write this CMAT exam in these two slots together. I mean, combined in these two slots, you will see that approximately 70,000 people write the examination. Okay. Exam center would be given on the admit card. Admit card kab aayega? That is also to be announced on the website. Everything else, the result kab aayega, kya hoga, that all would be announced later. So now this exam is being conducted by NTA. Previously, the exam was conducted by AICTE. So when it was conducted by AICT, never ever we had these kind of problems that you have started the registrations and you never know that on which date the exam is there. Last year there was such a problem that it kept postponing the last date, and people did not know whether the colleges that I want to take admission in, whether they would accept CMAT or not. For example, I think the last year the exam happened in somewhere around July, August. Now, if a person is giving in the exam in July or August, so how can he assume that he can take admission into a college, because exam hoga, uske baad result aayega, next process hoga, then you would get into a college. But the session of a college normally starts in June, right? So that's a common problem, right? It's a, I mean, government organization, NTA, and this kind of problem, I mean, it generally happens in NTA because NTA conducts IIFT as well, and there also you will face the same problem, but you can't do anything about it. That's the biggest problem with this. Okay, so that's all about this that CMAT dates. Now, when I talk about scheme of the examination, the scheme of the examination, you see that there are 20 questions in each of the 5 sections. This fifth section, innovation and entrepreneurship, this was made optional last to last year, but last year they made it compulsory from last year. This year also it will be compulsory. These are the five, I mean, sections. So in a way, you can say that two sections combined are forming kind of general knowledge, right? General awareness or general studies, whatever you call it. So 20 questions in quantitative ability and data interpretation, 20 questions in logical reasoning, 20 questions in language comprehension. Apart from that, 20 in general awareness and 20 questions in innovation and entrepreneurship. Syllabus, I would be letting you know that what all is there, and the medium of the question paper is going to be in English. So generally जैसे आपने और बहुत सारे एग्जाम्स देखे होंगे where you see that exam is given in two languages. That has not happened here. Only in English the exam would be available to you. Okay. The marking scheme, each question would carry 4 marks. So basically the exam is of 100 into 4. That is 400 marks का आपका exam है. For each correct response, candidate will get 4 marks. For each incorrect one, you will get 1 mark penalty, right? Unanswered, there is no penalty, no marks for that. To answer a question, you just have to choose the right option. But now there is an important point in point 6th and 8th, 6th and 7th, that after the exam you can actually challenge the answer key, right? You have a window for that where you can challenge it. So basically you can say that this answer is wrong or this question is wrong or something like that. Now if one of the answers is wrong and the correct answer is one of the other options, and if NTA accepts it, right, if they accept that yes, whatever you are saying is correct, we gave A as an answer key but the actual answer should be C, in such a case everyone who has given the correct answer will be given the marks, that is 4 marks. But if the question itself is wrong, or you can say none of the options is the correct answer of the question, in such a case marks of that particular question would be given to everyone whether you have attempted or not. That's a very common question from many of the students. Sir, what if a question is wrong and I have not attempted it, right? If the question is wrong and you have not attempted it, in that case everyone will get marks for it whether you have attempted or not. But if the answer given by them was wrong, which was later on changed to some other option, in that case, if you have given the correct option as an answer, you will get the marks. Otherwise, you will not. This is the simple method that they are using. Okay. That is the marking scheme now. Now, when I talk about the eligibility criteria, it's pretty simple. The way it has been for most of the other exams, you should have a bachelor's degree in any discipline. And even if you are in the final year of your bachelor's degree, you can still apply for it. When you talk about the other exams like CAT, generally you have a minimum percentage that should be there in graduation. In CAT, it is 50%. In CMAT, there is no such restriction. You must be a citizen of India and there is no age restriction. Even I can write CMAT today. Rather, I wrote exam, CMAT exam last to last year. As I remember, शायद last year तो मैंने नहीं लिखा था. Last to last year I appeared for CMAT. Okay, so this also happens. This is the eligibility criteria for all of you. Now, when I talk about the number of questions, we have already discussed it. But what is the syllabus? What kind of questions appear from which all areas? Now that is the part that we have to discuss. Let's move on to the areas to be focused. In quantitative aptitude, CMAT asks you most of the questions from arithmetic. the maximum possible number of questions would be from arithmetic. It has got the highest weightage in QA and DI. So keep this in mind. This is the topics for quantitative aptitude, whereas data interpretation is also a part of CMAT. Data interpretation would also be a part of CMAT. Maximum number of questions would be from arithmetic, right? Then algebra is something that would not be asked much in quantitative aptitude. I would say that they would be asking you more number other data interpretation पे based questions शायद ज्यादा होंगे with respect to algebra, number system, or geometry. Arithmetic might have 6, 7 questions. DI might have 6 questions. The remaining questions are equally distributed between algebra, number system, geometry, modern maths. And you can't predict actually that from which area you will have more questions, from which area you have lesser number of questions. You can't predict it. But one thing is for sure, focusing upon two areas, that is arithmetic and data interpretation, can definitely help you score well in the quantitative aptitude section of CMAT. But when I talk about logical reasoning, the number of areas is large, right? And most of these areas you would see they are not there in CAT kind of exams. CAT does not ask you blood relations, but they ask you similarly number series, directions, Venn diagram, coding, decoding. I do not think any of these areas is asked in CAT, right? These are those areas which are generally asked in Maharashtra CET as well. Also, you will find questions on these in SNAP. You will find questions on these in exams like TISNET. So ये कुछ एग्जाम्स में इन ऐसे एग्जाम्स में आपको इन पे बेस्ड क्वेश्चन मिलते हैं. Otherwise, these areas are not asked in the exams like CAT or Z. You would not find these areas over there. So these are more or less like you can say SSC type of topics. जैसे SSC CGL के पेपर में होता है, बैंक PO के पेपर में होता है, उसी तरह के टॉपिक्स हैं. लॉजिकल रीजनिंग इन सभी एग्जाम्स में तकरीबन इन्हीं टॉपिक्स के अराउंड आती है विच आर रिटन ऑन योर स्क्रीन. When I talk about language, you have questions from reading comprehension, sentence correction, finding error, vocabulary, fill in the blanks, idiom and phrases, foreign. सब कुछ पूछ रहे हैं within 20 questions. So you can understand that how many questions are asked on each of the areas. Possibly you might have two reading comprehensions, right? From 6 to 8 questions might be there on them. Then two questions on sentence correction, one on finding error, two on vocabulary or one on vocabulary. Fill in the blanks based 1 or 2 questions. So that ways, hardly 1 or 2 questions are asked from all the areas apart from reading comprehension. But once again, as I said, that all these areas would be asked to you in the actual exam. When I talk about CMAT, ये areas generally हमारे CAT वैट में नहीं होते हैं, right? ज्यादातर CAT would only be asking you questions based upon reading comprehension. इसके अलावा तो इनमें से कुछ भी CAT नहीं पूछता है, apart from parajumbles. Parajumbles is asked by CAT, right? So once again, something which is different from CAT. CAT does not ask you questions like these, but CMAT does. After this, when I talk about innovation and entrepreneurship, now this is something which might be new for many of you. What do they ask in it? So this is more or less like you can say business GK, right? Innovation and entrepreneurship, it is more or less like business GK. You should know all about your surroundings, whatever is happening in business, right? Or you can say a slightly broader term, that is commerce, right? Or economics. So all these things are there from which the questions you will find out. And yes, they do ask you a lot of questions which are based upon startups as well. They do ask you questions based upon mergers and acquisitions, right? The capital, the market capitalization of the companies, the rankings of different companies, right? And the new entrepreneurs which are coming up, right? So there are awards and all. So there are so many things that they ask from. So these are all the things. For example, I remember last year when I appeared for it in innovation and entrepreneurship, they had a question that what kind of company is called a unicorn, right? यूनिकॉर्न किसे बोलते हैं. सो इफ दे हैव $1 billion मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन और $1 billion रेवेन्यू और $1 billion प्रॉफिट, तो यूनिकॉर्न किसे बोला जाता है. दैट वाज वन ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस, राइट. सो इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस आपसे पूछते हैं. देयर वाज अनदर क्वेश्चन दैट एयर इंडिया इज अक्वायर्ड बाय विच कंपनी. ठीक है, टाटा का हमें पता ही था. दैट क्वेश्चन वाज देयर. सो इट्स मोर लाइक बिजनेस जीके, आई वुड से. सो व्हाटएवर इज हैपनिंग अराउंड यू इन द बिजनेस फील्ड, you should be aware of that to get answers of innovation and entrepreneurship. Okay. And finally, as I said, जनरल अवेयरनेस एंड इनोवेशन एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप दे आर ऑलमोस्ट द सेम, राइट? ये जो पोर्शन है और ये पोर्शन, अब इसको यहां से उठा के वहां पे ले जाओगे तो वो बन जाएगा। एंड यू माइट फाइंड क्वेश्चन, सम ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस व्हिच एक्चुअली कैन बी पुट इन एनी ऑफ द टू। आप उनको जनरल अवेयरनेस में भी पुट कर सकते हो, आप उनको इनोवेशन एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में भी पुट कर सकते हो। सो आई वुड जस्ट सजेस्ट दैट डू नॉट लुक एट दीज टू एज टू डिफरेंट एरियाज, जस्ट प्रिपेयर फॉर देम ऑल टुगेदर। बस ये है कि उसके लिए आपको बिजनेस इकोनॉमिक्स वगैरह पे थोड़ा सा ज्यादा फोकस करना है, राइट? कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड में जो कुछ आ रहा है उस सब पे ध्यान देना है खास तौर पे। दैट वुड ऑटोमेटिकली प्रिपेयर यू फॉर इनोवेशन एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप। अदरवाइज तो स्कोप ऑफ जनरल अवेयरनेस इज अनलिमिटेड, राइट? तो नेशनल इंटरनेशनल अफेयर्स, स्पोर्ट्स, साइंस, टेक्नोलॉजी, अवार्ड्स, बचा ही क्या है? इंडियन पॉलिटी, हिस्ट्री, ज्योग्राफी, तो सभी कुछ तो आ गया। एंड दे वुड बी आस्किंग यू क्वेश्चंस ऑन हिस्ट्री बेस्ड जीके, दे वुड बी आस्किंग क्वेश्चंस ऑन करंट अफेयर्स एज वेल। सो एवरीथिंग इज कवर्ड। सो इट्स मोर लाइक you don't have to prepare for it, just keep your eyes open for everything that is happening around you, and I'm sure you'd be automatically prepared for these two sections. Okay. And finally, which are colleges are there which accept CMAT scores? The top college under among all of them is of course JBIMS Mumbai, but the number of seats is pretty limited, and the percentile that you need is close to 99.99 to get in JBIMS Mumbai. Okay. Then IMT also takes CMAT scores, but only for Nagpur and Hyderabad campus, not for Ghaziabad campus. Great Lakes, everyone knows about Great Lakes. For the PGDM program, they also take for through CMAT scores. Alan Wellinger, Goa Institute of Management, KJ Somaya, and BIMTech, these are more, you can say, A grade or B plus grade colleges which will be accepting CMAT scores. Of course, you do not have, I mean, A plus plus type colleges like IIMs, MDI, FMS, और SP जैन और नीटी, IIT बॉम्बे, उस तरह के तो कॉलेजेस हमारे सीमेट के अंदर नहीं आते हैं। These are the common, I mean, the some of the good colleges that would be accepting CMAT score. So in my opinion, if you are getting admission in any of the colleges other than these which are written on the screen, probably you should try again, right? क्योंकि और कोई शायद इसमें कॉलेज ऐसा नहीं मिलेगा आपको सीमेट में विच कैन गुड गिव यू अ गुड आरओआई, कि आप पैसा भी लगाएं और आपको प्लेसमेंट भी मिल जाए अच्छी सी, वो शायद नहीं हो पाएगा। सो देयरफॉर दीज आर द कॉलेजेस दैट यू कैन लुक अप टू व्हेन यू अप्लाई फॉर सीमेट। Okay, so that is all about CMAT. I am sure that you have got all your questions answered. If you still have any questions, please write it in the chat box. I would answer that. And if you guys are looking for a CAT 2023 comprehensive program, yes, we are here. We give you 300 plus engaging videos, live sessions, mock tests, practice questions. There are so many things. And therefore, we call it a comprehensive program because we'll be there with you even after your exam to prepare you for GDPI and WET as well. And for that, if you really are looking for this particular course with BYJU'S exam prep, you can appear for this exam on 18th of February at 7 p.m. on BYJU'S exam prep Android app, and you can get up to 90% scholarship on these programs. So 90% का मतलब तकरीबन free हो जाता है. You can do that by scoring well in the exam. Also, if you are preparing for CAT 2023 and you are struggling with your schedule, how to manage the CAT prep with job or studies? Srinivas sir would be answering these questions on 11th of February, again of BYJU'S exam prep app at 7 p.m. Join him there and he would be telling you about all of this. He'll give you a complete schedule that along with job, what can you do? Along with your studies, what can you do? Also, if you are also writing Maharashtra CET exam, we are having an open mock from 11th to 19th of February. These open mocks are very important for each and everyone because you get a real feel of the exam through these. So write this exam. We are also available on all these media handles. You can find us at all these places. So someone is asking, sir, please tell us about the tentative schedule for CMAT 23. When will the registration begin? Okay, I have given that in this session itself. I mean, if you do the look at the recorded sessions later on, this recorded part of this video, तो शुरू में ही मैंने एक टेबल बना के दिखाया है कि कब से वो शुरू हो रहा है. You will get an answer for that. What about Maharashtra CT? I mean, notification is not yet out. The moment it is out, we'll be letting you know through our channel. Just stay connected with us. Okay. So that's all from my side, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good day now. So we'll be again together with some other session. Till then, bye bye and take care, everyone. Bye bye.